Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin with Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Pros Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
All right. Good morning, Huntsville.
Man, that was like boom right there, Jason. That was a great intro.
No,
It was one of the best I've heard in a long time. So
that's not done by you.
no, good. Welcome back. It's well, I say welcome back. It's been a fun week. There's been a lot going on up here at FBC, and we'll highlight that here in a moment. We'll go ahead and welcome you in as we get rolling here on a very thankful Thursday. Thank you all for joining us. Episode number 556 of Good Morning Huntsville, as we continue promoting and celebrating the good happening right here in Huntsville, Texas. We've got some guests that are joining us today, and excited to have Jack and Richard Pace on here in just a little bit. They've got a new business in town. We want to highlight what they're doing and some awesome things, really helping to, I don't want to say like revitalize downtown, but just bring some really unique things to downtown. We have an awesome square down there. So.
We do, and there's a lot of arts going on downtown, and even with the mural that was released this week, or unveiled, or lit up this week. I mean, there's a lot of artistic people in that downtown area, and I hope it grows.
We need to get Lee Jameson to. We need to go find. We got the on the education building. We need to get Lee to paint something real big. Right? It would look nice.
I know it. I know he did some murals inside the Methodist Church, like in their children's department and stuff.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he's so talented at so many different things.
Well, there's a lot happening. We're going to highlight a lot of good happening right here in Huntsville this morning as we welcome you in. And we hope that you're all off to a wonderful Thursday as you're waking up with us and celebrating again the good happening here. I want to give a special thank you, as always, to Elliot Herzlich. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs, whether it is an upcoming wedding or maybe you've lost a stud and a ring. Maybe you're looking for some custom jewelry or an heirloom. Elliot can do it all. He does custom jewelry and so much more. He also has a beautiful showroom. You've got to set up the appointment, though. He's over at the First National Bank Building, the 4th floor. But go to his website, again, to set up that appointment. It's elliotsjewelers.com. He's been with us since literally day one, starting this program almost 3 years ago, and we appreciate his continued generous support. And, of course, we could not be here on this Thankful Thursday if it wasn't for our great friends right here at FBC, First Baptist Church, a harbor of hope, and Pastor Jason Bay. Good to have you. It's been a fun week.
Oh, it's been a busy week. We've just wrapped up our Upwards basketball and volleyball, Upwards Sports Week camp this week. It's our first ever sports camp during the summer, and just proved that I'm edging more and more closer to 50.
Hey, well, you guys.
This is my year. This is my year, by the way. I got to get it all in before that 0 rolls around.
Isn't that country song? Like, there's something like "This is my year." So we'll come up. If not, we'll AI.
Yeah,
you a
I'm
song.
sure you will.
We'll AI a song for you, Jason.
But I proved how old I am, or to myself anyway.
Well, it was a great week. I did want to highlight some of that real quick. We wanted to give a special thank you to Chris Cash and Coach Gray and all the staff, Matt Cash there, and Coach Gray and all the staff with Sam Houston Volleyball, who came out on Monday to help kind of get the volleyball camp started. But we had a lot of children here. I think it turned out really, really well.
It really did.
I got to see you coaching in action, man. This is a calling for you, not just a pastor, but a coach.
Well, I've done Upwards basketball with my boys here for over 10 years, and they've really grown from it. It's a really good organization. It's not high pressure, It's just get out there and have fun, but at the same time get better. And my boys always did. They got better and got better. And so we wanted to do something like that for the community. And like I said, this was our first year. There was there was a few bumps in the road, but there was a lot of joy amongst the kids and bringing everybody together. We had a lot of kids here, and we had a lot of help. One of my friends from Waco, who was my youth pastor when I first entered to ministry, he came down and helped us. He was a college basketball player. He played in college. So I wanted to get his insight and help, and he came down and helped. And then with the volleyball, you and I were like, when we were discussing this, we probably could put together something for basketball, but as far as volleyball, we don't have much. And you made a phone call, sent an email, and reached out to the people over at Sam Houston State University, and they responded right away. And I was so impressed with them. They brought the whole volleyball team and the girls, their eyes were just, bulging.
Like starstruck.
Yeah, because that's a big deal. That's a D1 school, and the whole volleyball team. It takes a lot of hard work to get to that level at any collegiate program. You got to put a lot of hours in to be that kind of athlete. And those girls took the time out of their schedules to come over here, and just you saw it. But the way they interacted with the girls. Every one of the students, nobody was like on their phone or over in the corner. They were all engaging the girls, and I was just so impressed with their whole program. And a lot of those girls were not only sharing their journey through volleyball, but also their journey of faith. And that really impressed me, that they were saying, hey, volleyball is important to us, but let me tell you something that's more important to us. And that really made it for me. I just thought, man, I want to do everything in my power to support the athletic program over there and those girls. And I hope that one day me and my wife were talking about going and seeing some of their games this year, because my little girl, she was playing in the Upwards program, and she was just so amazed at how nice the girls were to them, and she wants to go see one of the games. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, one of your little girls, Sophia, I knew that she was excited because she was at the Family Life Center there in the hallway, and this was before the camp even got underway. And her and Sydney, one of our youth here, also sings on the worship team. They were in there. They were in there setting and doing things together. Yeah. And I said, that's what these camps are all about, to provide a spark of inspiration to these young people, to get them excited about something in the future that they can do now and grow in a sport that maybe they'll love.
Yeah, definitely. And it was something that like I said, we'd never done, so we were putting it together. And just a shout out to you and the whole staff here at First Baptist getting that together. And it was a lot of stuff going on. We were here. The camps were going on from 8:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the evening. So, and that's a lot of time to be on your feet running up and down a court. And our staff and people made it happen. And I appreciate. I know by the end of the week everybody was dragging, this morning is no different. Yesterday was the last day, so I was like, all right, well, get up 6 o'clock tomorrow and go do the radio show.
Yeah, well, and two, our associate pastor here, Don Jackson, it was so great of him to come up with this idea, and I know he had some job things, but he still provided help where he could. He was a huge part of really getting this going. Yeah, and his son was there all week. A lot of folks showed up, and I really enjoyed getting to know your friend Richard there from Waco, and we were talking. He was playing ball at Angelo State back in the day. That was, we used to call that in Georgetown, that was the baller college.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every kid in Georgetown that played at Georgetown High School went to Angelo State. I mean, Georgetown owned that college for a few years back in the day.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, he and I are about the same age, and when I first surrendered to full-time ministry, he was a youth minister there at that church that I first started pastoring, and we became great friends, and we went through some tragedies together. You know my tragedy with the accident we had there in Waco, but he lost his wife of melanoma cancer, and I walked with him, and our friendship grew through that, and he had 3 young children at the time, and so it was so good to just be back with him and just, we used to play basketball together back in the day. He was always much, much better than me. All I told him I could do was get down low, try to rebound the ball, and foul hard.
There you go. Well, and one last thing. We'll take a break here in a moment and have our guest on. One other fun thing. You had asked me on Monday, hey, will you come play ball with us at 4:30? You left out the part that not only the camps went from 8:30 to 4:30, but then there was an extended hoops session. Yep. I don't know how much of a show, but a session.
Oh, it was a show, all right. Dragging people off the court, including you.
Yeah. So I lasted one day. We played fairly well. Of course, we ended up winning, and then, of course, the excuses started flying about why we won.
That's right. We said old guys versus young guys, and we knew we were going to win, but
no, those young guys had a lot of energy. I'll tell you what, Caleb, that young man can shoot. I mean, he's probably he's like 90% from the field.
Oh man, he was knocking them down. So, but we had so many of our young youth here that were helping throughout the week, and they were just doing things we needed them to do to keeping this line straight. And so I felt like at 4:30 they had been there all day and they haven't got to play, and so that was a chance for all those helpers just to get together and play a little game. And we did the last Monday and Tuesday we did, and then yesterday everybody was ready to go home.
Well, it's cool getting to see your pastor out there shooting some hoop because just as anointed as Jason is in the pulpit.
Oh, come on!
On that basketball court,
no way,
the same anointing down there. But one thing I'll say this, Jason, that I've always admired about you is your leadership, and I mean this, as a friend and as serious. I know we joke around, but I'm being serious. Of course, pastor, and that's a huge job. I mean, you take a lot of weight on your shoulders, and that's what you're called to do. But then the second thing is just seeing your leadership this week with those kids, and I know that you said coaching upwards for 10 years, but I'm gonna tell you, man, you got some great coaching ability, and seeing the work that you did in those kids, you weren't letting anybody slow down. You were. Some of these camps people put together, they just come up, they shoot a few hoops, and they go home. Your whole vision is let's help these kids grow, and I saw that first, and that was inspirational for me, man.
Well,
so I just wanted to say
that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me, and I couldn't have done it without the whole group, everybody pitching in, my boys coming over and helping to. But it was fun. It was fun doing that. That's a memory we'll have doing that together, and even my daughter, she had played volleyball her whole high school career. She's not college athlete, but she's definitely played in high school, and so she came over and helped with the volleyball program, and so it was good. It was a good. And my wife came and she helped shag balls for them, and so we had a good week. Like I said, it was well worth it. We're all worn out, but it was worth it.
And I appreciate. The only thing I'm disappointed at you for me. Now I'm being selfish. I'm disappointed at you for me, Jason, because you didn't tell me the phrase that my dad always told me, suck it up, buttercup. Because
you can't use that today. You can't use that today.
Because after that first game that we played, at 4:30, I try to think that I'm in my 20s still. and there's something about 245 pounds pulling down to the earth when you try to jump with the basketball. And every time I do it, and I don't know if it's because I don't stretch enough before or whatever, but every time that I haven't played basketball in a long time and I get out there and try to play, there's this little tendon or whatever from this kneecap down to whatever this is, you know, and
I don't know.
It's always sore.
Yeah.
And I was whining and complaining about that after the game, and that's one thing. And then you asked me to play the next day, and I went and shot some hoops, and you know, and I was like, I can't even hardly walk on this.
No,
and I was hoping that you would say, Rob, come on, suck it up.
No. See, this is what happened. I'm going to tell you the behind-the-scenes story. So right after we played 40 minutes, 10-minute 10-minute quarters with a running clock, but after we had played, I was completely worn out. Rob was completely worn out. He was sitting over there huffing and puffing just like I was. And my son just makes a joke, and he's like, y'all want to run it back? And I knew he was joking, but you didn't.
No, I was ready,
and Rob said, well, if y'all want to do it, I'm game. And I thought, oh, my goodness, Rob's a gamer. I mean, he's ready to go. And so when they told me the next day, they said, yeah, I went in there and asked Rob if he was going to play. He said, no, he wasn't going to play today. I said, oh, no, he'll play today, because yesterday when we asked him we were going to run it back, he said, yeah, let's do it. And so I know he's going to play. He's just messing with y'all. But at the end of the day,
I didn't show up.
Rob wasn't there, but that's okay. We'll do it again.
I hobbled around and still, like this morning, when I was putting on my shoes, I would feel it too, and I just didn't want to re-injure that anymore.
But see, Rob, you got skills from distance. Rob's knocking down those 3-pointers, and
well,
so
about
you could
20%.
You could have just stood out there at the 3 line, and I could have got you the rebound. I can't shoot at all. I could have got you the rebounds. I'm the Charles Barkley. Just stand at the basket and try to get the rebounds. I get the rebounds, I throw it out to Rob, and he knocks down the 3. That's all you had to do.
That was it. And one final thing before we take this break, you said Charles Barkley. I knew that was going to come out because of your disdain towards San Antonio. You and him got that in common, you know, Spurs haters. So thanks a lot, Jason, a.k.a. Sir Barkley, Sir Charles. So, well, hey, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we have some visitors joining us today. We're really excited to learn more about their business and the great things that they are bringing to downtown Huntsville. Some opportunities for folks to get involved and be a part of something here in our community that's truly unique and something that'll get you out of the house, great family-friendly environment, just a lot of fun for folks to come and be a part of something so special that we now have in our former studio there. So I feel like we have just on a scale of 1 to 1,000, and 1,000 being the greatest, we're at number 2 on that scale of being involved with these guys.
Oh,
so
we're rooting for them.
Yeah, so we had a very small piece of them coming to Huntsville. They didn't even know it.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
prepared the way there at the studio, but we'll have them on in just a moment. Do us a favor, let us know that you're out there this morning and what you're thankful for as we continue promoting and celebrating the good. And as always, here on this Thankful Thursday, we are here with Jason and First Baptist, a harbor of hope in our community. We call it a harbor of hope because we believe that hope comes only through Jesus Christ. More information online at fbchuntsville.org. We'll take a brief break. Stay with us. More to come as we continue. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. FBCHuntsville.com. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit FBCHuntsville.org. First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We're not a daycare. We're a child care center focused on growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Education you can trust.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville. Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
All right, friends, welcome back as we continue on here. How about it for a July the 24th? And the kiddos are going to be back in school. I was just talking to my sister this morning, and they'll be back in school on the 12th, I believe. Huntsville back on the 13th. Hey, how about 96 today? One of the hottest days that we've had so far this year, 96 degrees. We have yet to see that triple-digit mark. Still the coolest summer that we have had on record. Well, not on record, in 18 years. And I'm going to keep saying that because it's going to turn around. It's going to get really hot. But today, mostly sunny, low of 76 tonight. We'll get up to 96 today. Tomorrow, though, rain back in the forecast. A little tropical disturbance down in the Gulf of Mexico that is ooching its way up close to our area. We're going to have a 60% chance of rain tomorrow evening. Things kind of taper off Friday night, but then on Saturday, boy, the rain chances really pick up to 70% or so. National Weather Service says that we possibly could get half an inch or more. So just kind of stay alert. Have your umbrella for this weekend. As many of you are getting out, there's a lot going on. We're going to have our garage sale here Friday and Saturday to support the flood victims up in the hill country as we're making a return to San Saba. And then also Saturday night, Sam Houston football is having their auction with Coach Longo at the fairgrounds, and I believe there's still some seats available for that for $125 a piece. Reach out to us if you're interested in going. Well, hey, they've been waiting long, and we appreciate none other than Richard and Jack Pace. Richard, good to see you.
Absolutely.
Jack, good to see you, my friend. Some commonality here. There's some bloodline going on here, right, Richard?
Yeah, we seem to look alike. I would argue that's pretty accurate.
Did y'all have the idea? I got to ask real quick because Jason, y'all saw our pastor here at first. He had on the same color of shirt. I mean, I should have moved out and had him. Was there any communication on shirt colors this morning?
No, great minds think alike.
I think it's just kind of like that green pastel kind of day.
Yeah. Well, it's a good color on you guys. So,
Thank you.
Well, Richard, good to see you. I know your dad is here with us as well. Jack, appreciate you being here, Mr. Pace. So thank you, sir, for coming today. And Richard, I got to know you. You were moved into our former spot where we had our studio over there at Paul Oley's old place where the gallery was. And we'll talk a little bit about the business and then also what you guys are here representing today as well. Not just the business, but some other exciting things. But Richard, let us know a little bit about you first. I know we'll talk about Splintercraft, the business that you're bringing here, that you brought here to Huntsville, but give us a little bit of rundown about you. I know graduating from Sam Houston, so let us and serving. Thank you for your service, by the way, in the Navy. But yeah, let us know your story, man.
Well, I'm a bit of a chaotic person. Originally grew up down in Pasadena, Texas, over here. My dad's home territory over there, and we moved around a lot during those times and graduated from Palestine High School and then joined the Navy. I ended up in Japan for about 4 years or so. That was a mess and a half. Then going from there, come back to the States and had a kind of rough and tumble time going through several different issues for like 10 years or so, and decided to go back to college after, doing construction and security and working for different kinds of businesses and stuff, things along those lines. But that whole through line, I've always worked on like art and design. Like I've tried multiple different businesses. I've tried doing game design. I've tried all sorts of stuff and been very involved in the artistic sphere, so to speak. Right?
Yeah, cool.
Eventually decided to go back to college during 2020 because that was a fun time to be alive.
It's like everything in life, by the way. There's this timeline of pre-COVID, post-COVID. You know, that's the new timeline, unfortunately.
COVID ruined some opportunities for me when it came to game development because I was designing card games and stuff like this, and we were working on something, and then the market fell through. So any venture capitalism I had for that went out. So I decided to go to college. Went to a couple of community colleges and then finished my bachelor's over here at SAM. I have a mix of like visual communications and business management and stuff that's rather specifically tuned for what I'm doing right now. It just happened to work out that way.
Well, it's neat, though. If you think about your journey, every step of the way through adversity and things that you had to overcome, Richard, I mean, you learned bits and pieces along the way that have helped you to where you're at now, man.
Absolutely.
And you've made the most of it. So it's really cool to see what you've done, and we'll highlight that in a moment. I know your father's here as well, Jack. Good to see you, Jack. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Let us know a little bit about kind of your story too. It's cool to have father and son here. I love that dynamic, but let us know a little bit about your journey if you don't mind.
Well, as you said, I was from Pasadena, Texas, and whenever I graduated high school, I went to SAM for a little while, then ended up going into the Navy where I was stationed in Spain for 4 years as air crew on reconnaissance aircraft. And while I was there, I married a Spanish woman, and he was actually born on the base in Spain.
How cool.
Came back here at 6 months old, so he does not really know Spain that way, but he was still born a Spanish citizen.
Do you get to claim it?
I can claim my citizenship.
He can become a dual citizen if he chooses to do so.
Awesome.
And I spent about 15 years in the two-way radio communications industry, and then I had a life change, and I ended up now I do mental health services inside of one of the prisons.
Wow. Well, man, that's awesome. I just love the journey, just like I was telling Richard, because there's so many things and opportunities, and and now, Jack, here you are able to give back and help folks that are in, tough situations. We talk here at the church all the time. I mean, literally the walls is across the street from us here, and we're working on building an actual we have the license to build the radio station, but we want to be able to reach folks right behind the walls. And so I always admire folks who are giving back, and that's really neat that you're able to do that, Jack. So it's pretty cool. And also, you mentioned the two-way radio, man. When I met Richard, there were some commonalities there, because even though I do this, in my heart, I'm still kind of a computer guy, and I do a lot of different things, and I love radio. And so when you said two-way radio, I was like, all right, man, we need to hang out sometime. Well, one thing that I'm really excited about, we'll switch gears. Richard, tell us about the idea, because this is all going to tie in to why your dad's here today as well. But tell us about the idea for Splintercraft, the artisan shop that you've opened up here in Huntsville. How did that come about?
Well, that was more or less an answer to a problem that I had, which was somebody who was trying to find a place to put a 1920s print shop. And I said I could find a place to put a 1920s print shop. So but I have to figure out how to pay for it. So I started a business. And I just, having gone through the art school and seeing what the college over here needs and being involved in that kind of community, I felt like an art supply workshop kind of scenario was a good thing for Huntsville, because there really wasn't a lot of options around for that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, you got Hobby Lobby and a couple other people providing, materials or classes and stuff like that, but nothing really focused on one community that's really just not being answered. And that was kind of my goal with my actual business. But it exists primarily as a ground base to help build our nonprofit next to it. So they're kind of integrally joined together. Yeah,
that's how we do, like here with our Spirit Radio. It's like we have Hello Huntsville and we have Spirit Radio, so I get that dynamic pretty well. So the space, I was over there for a while. Paul had been there for many, many years with the gallery. How did that come about? Were you just walking around, looking? Did you hear something? Let us know kind of how that dynamic works. It's pretty neat how you're over there.
Yeah, so that whole situation happened because I spent about a month or so planning all of this. Because I was graduating in December. I had gone to one of my friend's art shows, Madeline, actually, someone who's helping you out with stuff.
Yeah, how cool is that?
And someone there, who is Will Godwin, who's the Dr. Godwin over there at the SHSU. He's actually the president of our organization, too.
Oh, cool.
Apparently I had gotten to talking to my dad, because he came with me because he was bored.
Yeah, that's old people we're talking.
And then he had mentioned, because I had been working with games and stuff like that, and I understood how difficult it was to do things like prototype printing and specialty art printing and all this other kind of stuff when you're trying to make all these products that they try to ship overseas and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you don't need to do that. It's not that expensive to do if you're actually focused on how you're building your business model out. Well, they had started talking about my goals in that realm. And then Will was like, well, I know somebody who has a whole print shop that needs somewhere to go. And that leads into Compton's Letterpress Artisan Guild. So
yeah, well, that's cool.
That's more or less what that is. With Will, we were looking for a place to put it. We had talked about going to like Richards or somewhere in Grimes County. We were looking way out there, and it's like, then we're just going to have this old building with no income, and it just didn't sound like a great idea to me personally.
Well, they had good. You're talking Jason's territory over there in Richards. They got good hamburgers over there.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's very expensive to get a building and put a giant press set there, especially when you got to move it 3 or 4 hours. These are tons and tons of equipment. But no, it's apparently Will is good friends with Paul, and he had heard that Paul was trying to figure out what to do with his next stage in life. And the opportunity arose for someone to take that spot. I jumped on it as soon as it was available, because I knew if I left it there for too long, somebody else was going to take that spot immediately.
It's a great spot to be.
It's a lot of work to get into it, but it's a wonderful situation. I guess it's just the right spot for the nonprofit, especially just having all that window space and being able to have something that you can show off downtown.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit more real quick, because I do want to get in, to the other side of the business with the nonprofit arm. But tell us a little bit more about Splintercraft. Maybe somebody's watching this morning, Richard, and they said, we've heard of Splintercraft, but we just don't. We've seen it. We see the open sign over there in the evenings, and hey, we're open tonight. Let folks know a little bit more about what you do in there and what folks can do with the business.
Yeah. Well, primarily its main classification is as an art supply retailer. So I have lots of art supplies and art goods and stuff like that. But we also operate somewhat like an art colony or like an artist collection. So I have about 4 or 5 different artists in there right now, not including me, who are all selling work through there. People like Carol McGinnis, Christine Reeder. We have Jenny Dickinson, who's up out of Trinity. I focus almost entirely on local people who are making all these kinds of goods and services that people probably just don't even realize is there. Mm-hmm. And I have a strong focus on artisan goods and art. People who are actually making stuff. I'm a huge fan of technology and all this kind of stuff, but it's just getting this idea that you can do it yourself. Bringing art and trades back together is always like a big theme for me, and then working on that cultural environment.
And there's a lot of like classes. I see that you guys open it up. So if somebody wants to learn how to put something together, maybe highlight some of those classes that you have right now.
Yeah. So currently we have only have 2 workshops that we do. We use the term workshop just because we like to be special, but but we have 2 workshops that are active right now. We have Draw Like a Draftsman, which right now that's on the first Saturday of each month. And that one's we do it in the morning on Saturdays, and that one's where you learn how to draw how I learned how to draw. And well, draw like a draftsman might be a little misleading. It's more like draw like an artisan, because I learned how to draw from furniture books and weird tools that you find in these vintage kits, and just a mixture of stuff. Because I didn't have a lot of formal training when I learned art. It wasn't until I was going to college here that I had really any formal training at art, all at art.
Oh, cool.
And then we also have Build a Book, which is just a lot of fun. People seem to really enjoy going to Build a Book.
We're talking like old school, like where you taking like binding the book together and all that?
In 4 hours.
That's cool.
4 hours, you go from scrap material to a fully completed book.
Wow.
And everybody's always impressed with what they actually end up making at the end of it. They didn't realize that they can make something that looks that nice.
See, I would be interested in that, because I like to journal and write things, and my mother-in-law had bought me this really cool but it's manufactured. It's beautiful. I'm very appreciative. I use it, but it's a leather bound journal, and the pages are sewed in it, and then there's this huge leather strap to kind of keep it. And you know what's funny? Now that you're sitting here, Richard, when she gave me that, I thought of your place, and I said, this is something that I bet that they would make over there. So that's cool.
Oh, I mean, we have examples sitting right on the shelf of how to do it. I mean, we actually got one. The Build a Book is the 4th Saturday, so it's this coming Saturday. That's actually going to be the next one. We also do every Wednesday night. We try to do a hobby night every Wednesday night. So we open up the store. You do like a base payment for supplies, and then we have a theme for each one. So like the last one was vision boards. So it's like a little collage thing, or
cool.
Or we try out whatever's popular, or whatever I can afford. One of those things. So
yeah. Well, Richard, I'm so thankful that you had this vision. That you've brought this to Huntsville, to have something so unique to our community. And really helping to keep a lot of things really flowing and moving up with our downtown area. I wanted to kind of now transition in to the CLAG now. I know this, Jack, you're involved heavily with this. So let us know kind of, first of all, your role with Richard, obviously is the dad, but let us know your role and how all this ties in, if you don't mind.
Well, when we were discussing what to do with this equipment, we wondering if he should take personal control of it, but we thought for safety or perpetuity, to ensure that it's always remains as a public tool, we formed this nonprofit.
Now, when you say, I didn't mean to cut you, but when you say the equipment, you're talking about the press.
The presser, all the equipment in the press room.
So let us know a little bit about that press first, just to kind of set that up for folks.
So there's a Compton dual-cylinder letterpress, probably made between 1890 and 1900 is the main feature. There's also 2 smaller presses that are
jobber presses.
Jobber presses, they call them. And there's a linotype machine, which is a unique device that was used for a short period in the early 1900s that allows you to do a full linotype.
Wow.
And it's a very rare thing. And we're not going to put that in operation because you have to melt metal to form those, but we are going to set it up as a museum piece that people can see that very unique device in there. There's also a variety of other things in there that we're going to be moving over, because I mean it was a full operational press shop when they shut the doors, so it has everything you need to do to run a press shop.
When was this press last operated? I mean, obviously before you guys got a hold of it, but
we're not sure how much all the equipment was last operated. We know that the original person died in the 50s, and then his son took it over for a few years, and then his son's wife did it for a little while before it shut down. So the final closure was like in the 70s, but I think most of the equipment kind of went offline in the 50s.
How did you acquire it? This is pretty neat to where you just you heard from somebody that this thing's available. How did that happen?
As he's mentioning, we had gone to that show that Richard was talking about earlier, and me and Will, being the oldest people there, started talking. And just through the discussion, he mentioned that when I told him what Richard was doing, asked if we would be interested in that. I said he probably would. So he had come into knowledge of this because he was the curator over there, it had come to his knowledge, and he'd done a full write-up about it and done a lot of history about Silas Compton, who was the original owner of it. And after we discussed it, that's when we started talking about trying to put it into service. And that's our goal, is to actually put it into service and be able to print on it again.
Wow, that's cool.
Because as far as I could find, I've looked all over the internet. I can only find one other of these Compton presses that's actually in service, maybe two. And so it's a very rare thing to have this particular type of press in service.
You may have mentioned this, and if you did, I'm sorry, because I'm so excited. I'm actually really excited about seeing this thing in person. And once y'all get things up and rolling, I want to come over there and take a look at this. And you may have mentioned it, so forgive me if you have. But where did you guys get this? I know you talked about Dr. Godwin, the idea, but what town or all that? And how did
currently in Mount Enterprise is where the shop is. Okay. And it had moved. He had it actually somewhere in Central Texas before that, but he did the Mount Enterprise Progress for, 30 or 40 years. And all of those papers, he had a copy of them, and actually Stephen F. Austin took all the papers and archived them. So they're all been archived in the Stephen F. Austin Library, all the papers that were printed on them.
Cool.
I mean, they printed other stuff too, but he did do that newspaper for years. And our goal is to take all that stuff from Mount Enterprise and move it down here, because nobody goes to Mount Enterprise to look at anything. So
yeah,
it's a long way from everything.
And so through this, you guys have formed the CLAG, which is the Compton's Letterman Artisan Guild. It's a nonprofit.
Correct.
Maybe highlight a little bit. I know you've talked a lot about the physical press itself, but maybe highlight the organization and kind of some of the ideas and the vision that you have for it.
Well, our goal is first we got to move the equipment, and then we're going to try to put it back into service. So I don't know how long it's going to take to get all the stuff back serviceable. It's been sitting a long time. But this old equipment's pretty sturdy, so we're pretty confident we won't have too much trouble getting it back into service. It just may take a little work. And once it's back into service, we plan on having certain different levels of people that are associated with the organization. Some may just be supporters, may come to classes, see how it works, maybe, under supervision, get to put a plate in and run something.
Student options.
But we're also going to have some people that we want to be like artisans that have access to the equipment to do their own print jobs. And through a membership fee, they'll have the access to do print jobs on there. And if you compare the printing on those types of presses to what you get at a modern print shop with more of the electronic type stuff, it's a very different look and feel of the prints that you get off of those. And a lot of people might appreciate that. Like somebody may want wedding invitations in that old style, and it just looks, it's so much cleaner and prettier than you get off of a print of a dot matrix or a plotter or something.
So, I mean, there may be somebody out there this morning saying, I've always wanted to look at these old presses. I've always wanted to do something on one. I mean, this is going to become a reality here in Huntsville, to have this right downtown. And I know folks can't see this here. Maybe Josh can go to this other camera here. Josh, can you? Yeah, see, it's kind of here you go, Richard. But this is neat. I'll do y'all have a digital copy of something like this, and we'll share it on our Hello Huntsville page.
I've been doing a lot of catching up when it comes to a lot of the social media and digital access stuff. We do have a Facebook page where I do post a lot of things, but most of the printing I actually do myself. So I have to go on the fly, but I can always provide digital copies. It's not difficult for me to provide at all.
Well, there's some current needs. I wanted to make folks aware, Jack, you've highlighted this. They need your help, folks. I mean, that's why Jack and Richard are here today to help bring this press room back to life right here in Huntsville. There's some current goals. They need fundraising for setup and transport.
Right.
This thing's going to have to come probably in several pieces. You can't just load it in the back of an F-150 and hit the gas back to Huntsville, right?
So if you can tell, the facility that we're at, Richard is doing his commercial business on one side, and there's a wall there, and the other side is where we're going to put the letterpress. And the Gibbs have been very fair to us on rental prices. So, but as far as preparing the space, we're going to have to do that ourselves. So we're going to have to get some flooring done because that equipment's very heavy. It's not going to set on that plywood that's there.
2 tons on average.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we're going to need to run electrical to operate them. So, and being in the city, of course, you got to have an electrician, pull permits and all for that. And then we got to do the move, and that's going to be a big challenge because we're going to have to get the equipment out of that facility, put it on a flatbed or something, bring it 2 hours down here, and then we're going to have to maneuver it through those double doors into that room. So it's going to be quite challenging to move the equipment here. Once it's set up, that's when we can start the renewal process on it and start getting it working.
Are you guys having to purchase this, or are they giving it to you? How does that work?
See, the owner of it, who is one of the granddaughters or niece, I forget exactly which one.
A relative.
But she's a relative of Compton himself. She owns this, and she wants somebody to use it or do something with it because she had actually tried to give it to multiple different organizations, and she struggled to find anybody who wanted to take it. I think a lot of it has to do with moving several tons of equipment over many hours of space from the middle of nowhere.
Jason will laugh at this. Sounds like us with several pianos here that we've been trying to get rid of. Now this thing is a lot greater than these.
It's a lot heavier than
it's a lot heavier. This is like moving industrial equipment. Once you realize that, then you realize, oh yeah, that's why nobody wants to do it.
Wow. Well, this is just absolutely. I'm so thankful for you guys for bringing this, and it's something that I'm extremely interested in, and I'm hoping that our audience out there this morning, we'll put together an article, on our interview, but I'm hoping that someone in our audience says, I'd like to be a part of this. I think of someone right now that enjoys, if I know the Horns are watching, this may be something that Richard would be interested in seeing, and being involved with. I just think this is absolutely incredible. And so folks can volunteer. Kind of leads me on to the next step. How can folks get in touch? What do they do? How do they start that process?
Well, right now what we're preparing for is one of our first fundraising opportunities. So that would actually going into the culture second chances, right? And so we're actually partnering up with the other nonprofit that's there on the square, which is Emerge Art and Advocacy, which is the prison and outsider art gallery that's operating out of the Greyhound Studio around the corner next to the Walls unit. And we're working together to build an art and artisan market to help bring people downtown, bring awareness for our 2 nonprofit organizations, and working together because we have a lot of the same themes. Well, his is more with people, mine is with machines. We're coming about this community and culture and trying to revitalize, the humanity of the whole subject, right?
Yeah.
We're still looking for vendors and stuff for our market. So if you know artists or artisans that are interested in working with us, we're still looking for more people, but this is also a good opportunity to sign up for volunteering with the CLAG or volunteering with any of our events. We have links and just opportunities. The easiest thing to do is just to send us an email at accounts@clagtech-texas.org.
Yeah, I'll put that up on the screen here too. It's the email address, and so this would probably be the best way, is accounts at clag-tx.org.
Yes.
And I'll put that up on the screen there so folks can see that as well.
I would like to plug one other thing, is that like all organizations, we're going to need some money to get this done, and I don't have any neither. So if there's any foundations or individual benefactors that do some philanthropy that wants to get involved, we welcome your involvement, and we'll be happy to recognize you once everything's up and running.
And I want to mention
how much you help.
Just like what Vance did with the Cafe Texan, this turns into a destination for people to get them off of I-45. When they hear about this being here in Huntsville, I think this is going to be something that somebody's going to say, let's go check that out. It's going to draw traffic into downtown. I used to serve on our Main Street Advisory Board here and our Hot Fund Board here with the city. And we were always looking for organizations that were reaching outside the community to bring people in. I truly believe this is going to be something that's going to bring, just like the Cafe Texan and the museum over there, this is going to bring people off of the interstate. And I love what we were talking about before we came on. Huntsville has this known mantra that it's the prison city. We all know that. When I lived in Georgetown for years, that's all I knew about Huntsville. I just knew that that's where they had the prison. But there's so much more. And it's not that the prison system isn't important. It is. And TDCJ, we have a wonderful relationship, and they work so hard and do a great job, trying to rehabilitate a lot of the inmates. But there's so much more to Huntsville than just our prison system. This is an organization that you guys have brought in, and so thankful for it, because it is really helping to give Huntsville a new image and a new look, saying, hey, we're much more than what people think we are. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's a very positive thing.
Absolutely. This is a city with like a rich history and art and culture and just presence of Texas, how important it is for Texas history, we just had recently, like, David Adicky's died, the guy who built the statue. And if you just look around town, look downtown, look around in Houston and stuff, and you can see the impact of people here, building culture here, had everywhere else. And we want to kind of bring that energy back. And we want to try to lock it in, too. So we want to build this culture district and make Huntsville like just new culture place for Texas. This idea of second chances, this idea of revitalization, renewal, all that kind of fun stuff.
My selfish wish is that when people think of Texas, they think of Huntsville. That's my dream, because I mean, here's Sam Houston, the birth of Texas basically, and we have Sam Houston buried right here in our community. He was so involved here, and that'd be my desire. And 50 years from now, when people say Texas, then you'll hear someone echo Huntsville. That's my dream. So, well, guys, thank y'all so much for being here, Richard and Jack. I appreciate y'all. I wanted to say something about Richard. Jack, I just met you, and such a kind person as well. But I'll tell you what, whenever I'm always scoping what's opening up in town. That's a big popular part of our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com. And I walked by, and your door was just ever so gently cracked open, Richard, there. And I kind of peeked through, and I said, hello. And, man, you were so gracious to start showing me things. You were busy, renovating and getting things ready to open up, Splittercraft. But I just wanted to thank you just for your hospitality and for your friendship, man. You're a good dude, and I know that there's good things headed in your way, because you're doing great things for the community. So I wanted to say that. Thank you just for being a good guy and for being so hospitable and allowing me a little sneak peek before you guys opened up to help promote.
Well, thank you for letting us on the show. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate having the opportunity to talk to the community at large and working with you guys to do things as well.
You bet. Well, we're going to promote this. We'll put an article out here in a couple of days on the CLAG and how folks can get involved, and then also being a part of the Second Chances Art and Artisan Market. Looking forward to that.
As a final note, because I just realized I forgot to mention it, part of our Art and Artisan Market is we are running raffles to help fund the organizations.
Oh, yeah.
And those raffles are currently purchasable through any of our partners. All the partners that are working with us on this market is a lot of people in the downtown square. Of course, you heard about Emerge. Those are direct partnerships. That's what keeps the market as a nonprofit thing. But you'll have the Cat Cafe. We have 12th Street Bar. We have the Natural History Museum. All these people are getting involved. We have a lot of interesting stuff being planned for, like, keynote speakers. We have live performance, all sorts of fun stuff. This is going to be a nice big event. We're hoping to get a lot of funding through raffles, through sponsorships, and just getting a lot of notoriety out of people actually coming to the show and actually seeing what we're trying to do down here. So.
Yeah, cool. And just to be clear, so we have the CLAG, we have the Splintercraft, and then Second Chances Art and Artisan Market. This is something that's happening August the 16th from 4 to 8 p.m., correct?
Yes, sir.
And this will be going all down the road, down University Avenue and 12th Street, right?
We're doing it more in the sense of an art walk. So what we're doing is we're hosting it indoors in all of our spaces.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So indoors in the Emerge Gallery, the Be Free Gallery over there, in my shop over here. And we'll be taking some, like, parking spaces and stuff that's within private property limits and going down to the Cat Cafe, and then we'll be finishing our raffle and doing some keynote speeches within the 12th Street Bar and things along those lines.
And this Second Chances, does that also run as another entity on its own, or does it run under something else, or just kind of?
No, it's just between the two nonprofits. We're just kind of hosting it together.
Awesome. Between Emerge and the Clag.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Just wanted to clear that up. So, awesome. Well, can we have these? Do y'all need
Absolutely.
these? Okay, we've got a couple. We're going to take some information, too, off of these awesome flyers that you've brought us, and we'll put all that together and kind of wrap it up so folks will know exactly how they can get involved.
Careful, I'm flyer crazy. I'll give you hundreds of flyers.
Perfect, man. Awesome. Well, Mr. Jack, anything else maybe that's on your mind you'd like to say before we wrap it up?
We're just excited to get it in progress. It's been slower than we hoped, but I know everything has a time frame that it happens, and it'll happen in God's time, I guess.
Amen. Well, hey, maple syrup runs a little slow, but it sure does taste good, brother. So I don't know what that means. It just popped into my head. So keep on trucking, and I'm excited. And, again, we'll help get this out. Thank y'all so much, man. Appreciate you, Richard. Jack, so nice to meet you, my friend. And, again, let's support these folks and keep an eye on our website for more information. And also make sure that you follow them on Splintercraft on their social media pages. We'll share all that right here on our socials. Well, let's step aside. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in a moment. Jason rejoins us. It's news you can use with maybe a new twist at the beginning. Jason and I were talking about that. We'll let you know what it is when we come back. Stay with us. More to come. This is your show on a Thankful Thursday. It's Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us, please.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust. This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Imagine a voice of hope reaching every corner of Huntsville, from homes and hospitals to prison walls. That's the heart of Spirit Radio. We're a truly local 501c3 nonprofit, and we're raising $25,000 to build our tower and get on the air. With your help, we'll broadcast encouragement, truth, and the love of Christ across our community and across the world through the Spirit Radio FM app. Visit spiritradio.fm and give today. Let's bring light to Huntsville and beyond together.
Welcome to Taco Bell. Can I take your order, please? You ever cruise through the Taco Bell, Jason?
Yeah, now they got it all automated. That drives me nuts. Every time I go through there, everything is so automated. You can't talk to a human being anymore.
No. Well, I messed up, Jason, because I was talking about food. Taco Bell was getting hungry, but I messed up. Here we go.
All right.
Live from Studio 1229J. In the heart of Huntsville, right across from the old red walls. This is, with a new twist,
useless news you can use.
Useless news you can use with Jason Baby.
We're trying to bring down our level of expectation, Rob. So we're throwing that word useless in there. So, anything that we say here, please verify.
Double check. I can assure you, though, I'm sitting next to Jason. I will 100% assure you it's not Chat GPT generated.
No, it's not. These are real stories that I have looked through different magazines and newspaper articles to bring you the most useless news that you could possibly use.
Well, and I thought about this phrase right now. Real news for real Americans.
There you go. There you go. But you still need to incorporate that useless part in there. All right. I don't know if you've noticed, of course, any time this summer, when we get down into the summer, especially around my house, we've been mowing, the grass. We've had a lot of rain over the last month. And, of course, the last week we haven't. But the grass has been growing. We've been mowing a lot. And I've noticed a lot of wasp out. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Around your house, different places. And so one newspaper published an article and said this is the worst thing to do after a wasp sting. Now, as you have kids, you'll understand also that not only do you have to deal with the pain of a wasp sting, but you also have to, if you have children, you got to learn how to treat the wasp sting. What do you do whenever a wasp stings you?
Toothpaste and baking soda.
Okay, see, that's exactly what you're not supposed to do.
This show ruins everything my mother has ever taught me about anything. Mom, I love you. I'm sorry. Man.
So the scientist has said that do not use home remedies such as baking soda to treat the bite or the sting. The calamine lotion, vinegar, or baking soda will not neutralize the venom because the venom that is injected into your arm by the wasp sting is deeper than it appears. So anything you put on the surface is not really going to go down into the skin. It says, this article says, one of the worst things, whenever a wasp stings you, it puts its stinger into your skin, and that stinger is throbbing venom into your arm. It's not the stinger that hurts, it's the venom that it's injecting into your body that causes the reaction. So the first thing that you need to do is to remove the stinger. And it said, you've probably heard this before, but the best way to remove the stinger is to scrape it off, to take a credit card or something like that and use it to scrape it off. It says the worst thing that you can possibly do to remove the stinger is to get tweezers to pull the stinger out.
See, everything that I've ever been taught has been disproven in less than 2 minutes here on this show.
So maybe we should say useful news you can use.
This is very useful news, yeah, man.
Because what actually happens whenever you use a pair of tweezers is it actually squeezes the stinger and it forces the more venom into your arm or body part, wherever. Where's the worst place you ever been stung?
On my ear, on the earlobe.
One time I was going to my mother's breaker box. And there was something that was wrong.
Those little devils are always in the breaker boxes.
Yes, I open it up, and I mean immediately that thing just comes darting out, stings me right on the nose.
Oh, did you have a big red dot on your
Oh, my gosh. My eyes started watering. I was panicked because it hurt so incredibly bad. But also it says that in the article it says, if you have any sort of reaction, whether it's bee, sting, you feel your throat tightening up, you should call a doctor and seek if your lips, mouth, throat, tongue suddenly become swollen, or you're breathing fast or struggling to breathe, or your throat feels like you can't swallow, your skin, tongue, or lips turn blue, gray, or pale. This may be a sign that you should call for help because you never know, especially with children, if they're allergic to bee, wasp sting, that sort of thing.
Did y'all ever have like any allergic scares with y'all's children that you?
Well, I have my youngest son, Sam. He is highly allergic to different things like grass. He has bad eczema, and Kim is always trying to treat him and different things. But yeah, he struggles with that. In fact, his face this week, when we mow the grass, his face will just become like real dry looking. And
see, Caden's cheeks do that. They turn bright red right here, just on his cheeks.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked, because as parents, we're trying to like make sure that we know how to identify Bridget. I mean, she's a nurse, but I say as parents, really as me, I'm trying to learn
there you go.
when Bridget's not around,
No, I think that you're exactly. I mean, when you see these things happen to your children, eczema is so bad, and a couple of our kids has it, but Sam has it worse, and it can be really devastating for a child because they scratch it, and then it becomes irritated, and that makes it worse. And she's always treating him with different things. We're trying to find the right thing to treat him with. So anyway,
just don't use baking soda on anything.
Yeah, no baking soda on wasp stings, which my mother used to always do. Baking soda, put a little thing on it like that. It just makes you feel better, I guess.
What do they call that? A placebo?
The placebo effect. Yes, definitely. All right, the next thing on health-wise. I know we always like to talk about health news here. But in this article from the NPR, it says you can't outrun a bad diet. Food, not lack of exercise, fuels obesity, study finds. And so I really thought this article was pretty interesting because we always talk about whenever we deal with our weight and issues such as that, we always think, well, we need to be more active. We need to exercise more.
Just need to eat better.
That's what this article is saying. That, and there's a major study published in the journal PNAS, and they studied and compared caloric intake from 34 different countries and cultures around the world. And they looked at people and they thought, well, why is America and Europe, why are they the biggest places where we're dealing with obesity?
McDonald's.
Well, okay. So they said that it's not, well, they thought, well, maybe it's because in these locations, people have a more sedentary lifestyle. You know, you're working behind a computer, you're working at a desk job, you know, you have more of a white-collar jobs in these areas. But after the study, they found that even in hunter-gatherer areas, the amount of exercise or the calorie burning is about the same, regardless of whether you're talking about America, Europe, or these or other countries that appear to be more hunter-gatherers that deal less with obesity.
We just eat worse here.
That's exactly what this article is saying, that at the end of the day, what they found that contributed more to obesity than even exercise is what people are eating. You know, we eat so much more. And even when people exercise a lot of times what the article is saying is it just forces them to eat more. You know, they just, even though they exercise more, they find themselves hungry more and they eat more. So at the end of the day, you have to watch what you eat. And I learned this in my body. I was getting overweight and a few years ago, I kind of really shifted what I ate, and I lost a lot of weight. Well, my son asked me the other day, he's like, how much weight did you lose, Dad? And it wasn't so much that the weight that I lost, it was like that I noticed was the size of the pants that I wore had shrunk. You know, so I went from like a size 40 pants to a 36. And so I was proud of that, but I did it because of what I ate. I changed what I was eating.
40?
Yeah, I'm telling you. I was big.
Big
at that
boy.
time. I have a couple of pictures that my kids always throw in my face and say, look, Dad, look what you used to look like.
My former pastor at Celebration Church in Georgetown, Joe Champion, he's a great man, and when he first came, they came to that area. They felt that the Lord said go to Austin, and so they started the church there in Georgetown, and the church has grown. But long story short, when he came, he was a big old boy. I mean, this guy was like 300 pounds, had an old beat up red Nissan pickup truck, and they'd go to McDonald's, and they started the church in their house in Round Rock. And they would go to in the early church, and they grew. You know, it was like in a library, and then eventually, got some land and built their own church, built the church. But a friend of mine was telling me he went early on when they first started, and he said, man, he goes, they'd always go out, they'd always ask even people at church, hey, y'all want to go to McDonald's? They'd all go to McDonald's. Well, what happened was a member of the church had blessed him and his family with a trip to Colorado. And so they went skiing. And apparently he got in that ski lift and he got stuck.
That was his motivating
factor.
And
he couldn't get out. He was got stuck in it. And he said in that moment he felt the Lord said, man, you better start. Yeah. I've got bigger plans. And now that guy, if you saw him, he's fit. Yeah. You wouldn't even recognize who he is now.
That's kind of the way it hit me. I was like in my mid-40s, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to get – it's not all of a sudden going to become a whole lot easier to lose weight. And I've gained some of it back. But I tell you what, the reason that I've gained some of it back that I've noticed, it's not that what I was eating, that I was hungry all the time, or that I was eating salads all the time. The reason I truly believe that we deal with such obesity is out of convenience. Because 100%. It's just harder to go get something that's healthy. It's harder to go get something that's freshly cooked when you can conveniently just drive through someplace, pick up something quick, and on the go eat it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you, if they had a drive-through Subway, I'd go to that all the time. I really would.
Yeah. Or some little simple sandwich place.
Why haven't people invented these drive-through healthy food? There's not. I can't think of what. Jason, this is something new, man. You and I ought to get together on this.
Yeah, I know it. I thought about this a long time ago.
There is no drive-through place that I can think of. There's fast food, but the fast food always has unhealthy options, and the chemicals in my body are going to say, yeah, get the hamburger over the chicken wrap.
Yeah, right.
And there's this mantra that, and I'm not bashing Chick-fil-A, but there's this mantra that, Chick-fil-A is so much more healthy. It's all the same. You're still getting the fries and all that. And I wish that there was just something that only had healthy options that you could drive through. And I'm telling you, if Subway, and I love Subway, and I got on a Subway kick years ago, and I lost quite a bit of weight because I was eating Subway all the time. I'm telling you, if somebody would invent just a healthy fast food place where you could go through because of the convenience, and they only had healthy options, I would go to it.
Yeah, and also I think they need to keep it simple. Don't offer 50 different types of sandwiches. Just keep it simple.
5 things, boom, done.
Like the way that they place a menu on McDonald's or some other fast food place. One of the things I think, like for me, that makes it more simple is just the simplicity of the menu. You just order number 1, order number 2, order number 3. Don't make it super complicated. Anyway.
And one last thing, Joshua Mashi's producing, he'll love this. Have an app that gives you so many different reward points. Because McDonald's,
they got it figured out.
Boy, every time you go there, you get something for free.
Yeah,
that's my final thought on that.
Well, this brings me to the next, what's just along the same ideology here, is from Delish Magazine. They've studied and came up with the top 10 unhealthiest fast food chains in America. Now think about this. The top 10 most unhealthiest fast food chains in America. Go ahead, guess. One of the top 10.
Taco Bell.
Bell is number 3. Taco Bell is loaded with burritos and combos sneak in high calorie and sodium levels.
McDonald's
is number 7.
See,
a standard Big Mac meal can hit 1,300 calories.
All right. Other places, Burger King. It's got to be on there.
Not on the top 10.
Yes, that means I can keep eating there. That's what.
And maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is because they what do they call it? Grill it on there, or
Flame
whatever.
grill.
Yeah,
their burger. I ate one yesterday.
Yeah, I do love. I got behind you one day. We were both
on a
breaking any kind of diet we were on.
Burger King. Man, I'm trying to think, Jason, because really I don't go to – those are the 3 places that I go to, Burger King, McDonald's, and
well, you mentioned one earlier that's on the list that surprised me.
Is Wendy's on it?
Wendy's is number 1.
What?
The Triple Baconator meal clocks in at over 2,000 calories, and the chain deals and late-night hours encourage frequent overindulgence. Now, they're taking the whole menu, and each one of these, I'm sure there's healthy options that you could do, but they're looking at the overall menu. But number 10 is Chick-fil-A. Meals like the fried chicken sandwich and the waffle fries quietly deliver major calorie counts, but not as high as others on the list. Number 9, Little Caesars. 1 pepperoni pizza marked as an everyday meal can supply more calories and salt than most people should consume in a day.
You know, Little Cedar, they've made it so convenient now, and I go there every great, and their pizza is like cardboard, Jason. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but if I'm hungry and I want a quick pizza, I'll go there and eat it. I'm not knocking them, but it's just not.
It's out of convenience, man.
But it's so easy.
They're making a living out of convenience. I'm the same way. I'll leave home, I'll leave work, and I know I'm trying to save Kim from having to cook something. I'll swing by there that's already hot and ready. Just pick it up, go.
Yeah.
But those things can really sneak up on you.
And you can taste that black dye of that cardboard in there, you know.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Number 9, Little Caesars. Number 8, a place I haven't heard of or eaten at, but this is all across America. So Smash Burger, you ever heard of that?
I've heard of Smash Burgers,
okay.
Yeah.
Number 7, we already mentioned McDonald's. Number 6, Quiznos. Oversized subs like the classic Italian hit about 1,300 calories and pack in excessive sodium.
Oh, buddy, I miss Quiznos. You ever ate at a Quiznos?
I love that.
I miss Quiznos, man. They've kind of died out.
Yep. Number 5, KFC. A 3-piece extra crispy combo delivers a full day's worth of salt, saturated fat, and calories. Number 4, Dairy Queen. And it mentions the Blizzards, fried combo baskets. Taco Bell's number 3. We mentioned number 2, Sonic. Sonic with massive portions and sugary drinks like the 44-ounce Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Master Shake. Golly. Sonic packs an alarming calorie and sugar punch. And then, of course, number 1 was Wendy's.
How could somebody go and get like a 44-ounce ice cream? I mean, that's
have no
just
idea.
When I go to
crazy.
Wendy's, I get it's not even on the menu, Jason. You know, they have the smalls or whatever. You can get you can ask them for the smallest size they have, and it's like a kid cup. And that's enough to fill me up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I enjoy eating there.
Gallon of ice cream.
There and get you a cookie dough, whatever they call it.
I get the cheesecake, the strawberry cheese quake blizzard.
See there, we're bad examples.
That's what I like about Texas.
PC Mag has produced an article. It says, if you want the best sell in internet service in 2025, go with these brands. Now, this is an unbiased report that they did, analyzing the 3 top carriers for internet speed, 5G availability, and coverage score. So I want you to think about that. Who's your carrier now, Rob?
It's Vexus, but they got bought out by Metronet, which is T-Mobile.
Okay, there you go. The speed score, when it comes to speed of your 5-speed download, like your data usage on your phone, the number one company for 5G download speed is T-Mobile. The second place is Verizon, and the third place is AT&T. That's who my carrier is, by the way. Last place.
I'm on T-Mobile. Well, I use Mint Mobile, and I pay $360 a year.
Good night. I need to switch.
And it's Mint, but it runs on T-Mobile, and I've never had any issues with it.
And does it have what about data usage and stuff like that?
Pretty. I mean, they say unlimited. They cap it obviously, but I've never had one issue. I watch, on my lunch breaks, I'll usually put on YouTube TV. If I go to like Burger King, for instance, I'll pull over in the parking lot and I'll eat my burger there. I just like to just kind of hang out and relax. My phone's got this super little kickstand on it, so I'll just put it right there and I'll kind of just watch some things while I eat.
So what about like calling from you have unlimited calling, text, and all that?
Everything, yeah. And it even gives you, I think, 10 gig of hotspot data.
Man, I got to
$360 a year.
I'm paying like $500 a month.
That's my old boy Ryan Reynolds. A good buddy of mine. Ryan Reynolds, the actor. He's not really a friend of mine, but he's a big spokesman for this. And 2 years ago, I found out about it, and I've been a fan. Man.
I'm switching.
I'll give you my referral code.
The reason why mine is so high, if anybody's wondering, is just because all my kids are on have different. The ones that have phones are all on the same plan.
I was just thinking, man, I couldn't imagine.
It's ridiculous. 5G availability. Which one do you think has the best 5G availability between the 3 major providers?
It's Verizon. They tout that they do, but is it T-Mobile?
It's T-Mobile, number 1. Number 2 is AT&T, and actually Verizon is third place when it comes to 5G availability. And then like overall coverage, like when it comes to using your phone just as a phone, the overall coverage is number 1 is Verizon.
Yeah, that's what they
claim.
Number
2 is AT&T, and number 3 on that is T-Mobile. So depending on what you're using your phone for. But like you said, I mean, a lot of these smaller companies, it seems like the way to go. I'm not I've always been with AT&T, and I think they've probably taken advantage of me every time they get a chance. But I want to just cover a couple of other things. Fox News has reported that this is Shark Week. Did you know that?
Oh, is it bad? Is that still a big thing, Shark?
Oh, my kids love Shark Week.
Why does it seem like every week is Shark Week? It's like the Texas Ford dealers. It's Truck Month. Well, it's Truck Month every single month.
Yeah, well, because I think the Discovery Channel started this years ago, and it became very, very popular.
Yeah.
Now all the other networks are jumping on board and picking another week. But this is Shark Week, and my boy, Sam, the one I was mentioning earlier, he loves sharks. And so our TV has been on Shark Week all week long. But Fox News has reported that the largest great white shark recorded in the Atlantic is spotted off a popular beach town. A massive great white shark, the largest ever tagged in the Atlantic Ocean by a marine research group, is continuing its journey northward near a very popular summer destination named Contender. That's what they named it. After a well-known boat brand, the shark was recently tracked several dozen miles off of Nantucket, Massachusetts, located roughly 100 miles south of Boston. This is a well-known tourist hotspot. But this adult male measures nearly 14 feet in length and is estimated to weigh 1,653 pounds.
Good
You like
night.
sharks?
Not now. Thing sounds scary. What's a ton? 2,000 pounds?
Yeah, 2,000
That
pounds.
thing's almost a ton.
Yeah, and I think they say that the female great white sharks are the biggest sharks. This is a male. So you can imagine how big would those sharks actually get.
Good night.
I know it. And they're also using sharks, since this is Shark Week from the Washington Post. They're using sharks. They tag these sharks now, and they're recording all different kind of data. Well, one of the things that they're allowing these tags to do is record the ocean temperature where the sharks are. And so the Washington Post records that where will the next big hurricane hit? Ask the sharks. Researchers are equipping sharks with sensors that may help predict the power and path of Atlantic hurricanes. They're tracking the ocean temperature, and they can use those temperature gauges on those sharks to help determine where the hurricane may go, because hurricanes are typically attracted to warmer waters. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, sharks are telling the future of the weather. It's not the government, it's the sharks manufacturing the weather.
Oh, sharks are awesome. We love sharks. I mean, my family, they just, my son had, all week he came to the basketball camp with his Jaws cap on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Scientists, NPR, really quick, just a couple others.
Yeah.
Scientists are developing artificial blood that could save lives in emergency. NPR reports a research team has successfully tested a blood substitute in animals, and human trials may not be far off. The powdered blood could help medics respond faster in a crisis.
I just had a flashback of Kool-Aid fruit punch mix when you said powdered, and so you see a doctor back here with a little blender, zzz, whipping it up.
Yeah,
then he kind of tastes it. No, it's a little too sugary.
Well, I mean, wouldn't that be cool though? I mean, it's much. You think about how often you hear about the need for blood and blood drives. We did one here at our church. I know they're wanting us to do another one here because the last one was so successful. There's such a great need for blood transfusions and the use of blood in the medical field. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if they could develop? And obviously, they've been working on it, a blood substitute for, especially in the cases of emergency situations where it's a lot more easily transportable and it lasts a whole lot longer because it's artificial and it is powder based.
Yeah,
pretty cool. All right, last thing that I wanted to mention. Out of Entrepreneur Magazine, you know the lady that do you ever watch the speaking of sharks, do you ever watch the show Shark Tank?
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Okay.
It's my favorite show.
Yeah, they have a lot of interesting people on there and a lot of interesting inventions, and I like it too. I think it's pretty cool. Well, the lady that works on that's on the show, Barbara Corcoran, you know her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She in this article, they did an interview with her in Entrepreneur Magazine, and they asked her about the keys to becoming financially successful, or whatever, however you want to look at that. And I think, most of the time we know that happiness and joy is not derived from money. We know that it's only through a relationship with Jesus Christ that we really find peace and satisfaction. You can't find satisfaction in money and materialism. There's been example after example that have proven that over and over and over. But I do think that the things that she mentioned in this article are very important for us all to live by. She mentioned just some simple rules that she lives by that have helped her be financially secure throughout her life. Number one, spend less than you make. You can't grow wealth if you're always playing catch up. That's a great point, and one that I should apply and everyone else should apply.
I'm the biggest Heinz 57 in the world. I'm always catching up. No joke.
But one of the things we all want to do is we all want it now and we want to pay for it later. And a lot of times that leads us into financial crisis, and we all need to learn how to live within our means.
Well, and the biggest person that's in fault for that is J.G. Gentworth. It's my money and I need it now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877-CASH now. Anyway.
Number two, she said, was to learn to love rejection. The most successful people I know all have one thing in common. They spend little time feeling sorry for themselves, and they get right back up, keep swinging, she says. I love that. Whether you're starting a business like the two people we interviewed or you interviewed today. I mean, you're starting a new business, you try something new, and it doesn't. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, don't let that get you down. Get up, try something new, and keep going. Keep swinging. Don't feel sorry for yourself.
You don't know unless you don't try.
Right. Number three, she said, is start before you're ready. The best time to move on an idea is the moment you think of it. You don't have to get it right. Just get it going. That's a lesson that I learned from you, because in high school you were thinking about business opportunities that you could apply, that the guy was preparing you for. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. And I think a lot of people miss out on opportunities in life that God is opening up is just because they're fearful, and fear freezes you, keeps you from taking the next step. She says, start before you're ready.
Yeah, I've always encouraged people, of course, you need to cross your T's and dot your, but you can, I heard this phrase one time, it's paralysis by analysis.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got an idea and you've got the means to do it, just do it. Don't worry about, well, what if it doesn't work out? I've never, ever feared any idea that I've had, Jason, because I've always believed if it doesn't work, who cares? There's something greater.
Mm-hmm.
I attribute a lot of that, honestly, first and foremost, that I trust the Lord. And I'm not saying that God's going to tell me, go quit your job and go do this. That's not what he's saying, because you need to pay your bills. But if you got an idea, do it. Don't wait around. How many times have you heard people, and probably friends, and I have friends, that have said, I wish I would have done that, but I never did. There was an idea that I had in high school. I had this website idea called mylifecentral.com. And I don't know if I ever told you this story. I started programming it. I was learning. I didn't know enough about programming, but I started doing it. And it was a place where you could go and post pictures and comment on them. And then I kind of lost interest in it. I tried it. It's nothing I ever thought of as a business. Well, then literally a couple months, and it's not that I started it, but literally a couple months later, all of a sudden MySpace pops up. And I'm like, I had that idea. I wish I would have continued to pursue that.
Well, and you're an idea guy. I mean, people you always come up with new things and new ways of doing things. Let's think of this, and I love that. And that's the last thing that she really says is have a vision of where you want to go.
Yeah, you got to have the vision, though.
And that is straight biblical, obviously. And we look and we stress this at the beginning of the year. Remember the vision series we talked about is have a vision for your life and understand, first of all, that begins in a period of prayer. Asking God to show you. We were each created with a purpose. And I think if you want to really find success in life, not financially, but just success in life. And sometimes finances come along with that. But pray about it. Ask God what it is that he would have you do. He's given you talents and abilities and skills to ultimately give him glory in all that we do. Whether, my dad used to tell me, whether you're digging a ditch or whatever you're doing, do it all to the glory of God. Do it to the glory of God. And so have a vision of where you want to go and do it. And I think that's really our moment of inspiration this morning. For the people out there is so much of life we spend waiting. Look at the story of Nehemiah. He saw a need, he got up, and he did something. After a time of prayer, there was definitely that season of prayer. After that time of prayer, he got up and did something about it. There's a time to pray, and then there's a time to get up and do something about it. I think a lot of people are frozen in fear, and they God has given them a vision and the ability to accomplish it, but they just got to get up and do it.
I've always said that you can't have provision without vision.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So
that's a great phrase.
Yeah, if you want to have provision in your life and see things come to pass that the Lord has put in front of you, you've got to have vision. I mean, that's part of the word. Is part of provision is vision.
That's why I wanted to bring that article to light, because I thought a lot of what she said in there, it flows just from what the Scripture already tells us. We have to get up, do something, spend less than you make. The Bible says don't live in debt. That's what the Bible says. Don't follow my example. But that's exactly what she says in that article. The Bible says, when God calls you to something, get up and do it. God gives you a vision. Accomplish those things. Don't be scared. When you fall down, be ready to get back up. And so I think that applies to all of us, and that's kind of our moment of inspiration for the day.
Well, thank you for that, Jason. Well, that's it. You got any other news you can use?
That's it.
News you can use. We're going to get rid of it. We tried it for one day. We're gonna go back on it because it was absolutely useful news that you can use.
Especially the wall sting part.
Well, I know we got to get rolling. Let's take one. You still have about 5 more minutes, Jason?
I'm good.
Let's take one final break, and when we do, we'll come back. I wanted to highlight a couple things that folks can learn about on Sunday. I wanted to highlight a couple things that are happening here at first. And we were talking about Dairy Queen a while ago. Remember this, Jason?
Yes.
We were talking about Dairy Queen. Well, I had an old friend back in the day named David. This was David Quinn living here, and I want to show you this. His name was David.
That's it.
Quentin David was his name. David Quentin. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. David Quentin. This was years ago when I first had my first college broadcasting opportunity. And I was very thankful for that. And here's what I wanted you to hear this morning, because we were talking about fast food. You ready for this?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about how did you get, of course, David Quinton's the name. How did you get the nickname, man?
Man, I think it was in high school. One of my friends just started singing the song DQ, and it just stuck. And, those are my initials, D and Quinton. So I ran with it. Everybody liked it. It's just a household name. So.
You didn't finish the song, man. DQ.
That's what I like about Texas.
There you go, man. Give it up, man. This guy right here, man. Come on, man.
David Quinton, DQ, household name, by the way.
We lost our only Dairy Queen here in Huntsville.
Yeah, it's coming back, though, one day. Well, let's take a final break. Stay with us. We'll wrap it up when we come back. More to come as we celebrate all things good here in Huntsville. It's First Baptist with us on a very thankful Thursday. We'll be back in a moment. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people, side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
All right, well, if you live in Elkins Lake, you are so joyful this morning because now we have an abundance of internet options. The floodgates have opened up in that neighborhood, and everybody and their dog wants to get in on the internet game now. Just had Vexus installed. One conduit, Jason. Well, now Comcast is coming through, and they're tearing up a lot of stuff. And then I heard rumors that another internet service was coming in. And why aren't they all using the same conduit? I know, like utility companies, a lot of times a telephone company will own the power or the electric company, and then they lease it.
Right.
But apparently it doesn't work that way. And so they are going through and, they use that directional drilling to run conduit for all these other lines now. And you can only imagine the things that they are going to hit now.
Absolutely. They
So,
already messed your yard up a couple of times, huh?
yeah. So, anyways, that's my complaint of the day, rare complaint of the day. Now, back to some good stuff. Hey, we want you to come on Sunday. Jason, you've been doing such an awesome job through this Hebrew series now. We've been into it for a couple of months, and I'm just enjoying going through. There's 13 books in Hebrews. Don came in and preached one while you guys were on a much-needed vacation. But let us know how that's been going, and then what folks can expect. We want them to come on Sunday.
So we're nearing the end of the book. We're this week we're in chapter 10, and as you near the end of the book, like a lot of books in the Bible, you have kind of this foundational theology part at the very beginning, and then as you move towards the end, you get to the very practical application part. And so this week, I think there's very practical application that the author is giving the people, the Hebrew people, and for us today. And so as we near these chapters, I think you'll find that what he's telling them to do, what he's calling them to do, and ultimately what the Holy Spirit is calling us to do, is to, in light of what he's told them, that Christ has entered in as our high priest. He is the sacrificial lamb. That we can approach him with boldness now. We can come into his presence. We can draw near to God with confidence, knowing that by his blood we have been made clean. So that's the first thing. We've been washed clean. We can draw near. We can approach. You know, you've heard people say, well, I'd like to come to church, but I'm afraid if I come to church, the roof would fall in on me. You know,
lightning's going to strike.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly the opposite of the message of the Bible, is that in brokenness, we can draw near to him. Not in self-righteousness. So that's why the Bible talks about Jesus was a friend of sinners. Those that were far from God could draw near to him, not because of who they were, but because of who he was. He was going to be the one that would wash them clean of sin. So it's a reminder to us all and to everyone out there that understand what the grace of God is about. Understand what the gospel, the good news is all about, that we can draw near to him. And then the second thing he tells them is that they can hold fast to that confession. He was seeing a lot of people drifting away from the word, drifting away from what God had done. And he's telling them, hold fast, remain faithful. That's a good message for us these days, because it's easy just to draw away. And he's telling them, no, don't take it for granted. Come back and understand this is vitally important. And I want to encourage everyone out there, hold fast to your confession. And he tells them to stir each other up. And then finally he tells them to go and live it. And that's what I want to encourage people this week. Come this Sunday. We're studying chapter 10, practical application for your life. Draw near, hold fast, stir up, and live it out. So that's what we're going to be talking about this Sunday. Hope you all can come and be a part.
Yeah, come. It's been awesome. We'd love to have you. The Lord has been so faithful, as he always is. And, you know, one thing that I'm seeing here in this community, and we talk about it all the time, Jason, is so many people are getting back into church, and so many people are coming to know the Lord. And we pray, we pray as a staff and individually that not just our church, but that all churches that believe in Jesus and believe in salvation, obviously through a relationship with Jesus Christ. I'd love for every church in this community and all over the world to be a capacity with people hungry for a relationship with Jesus Christ. We're seeing the Lord move in such a powerful, mighty way here. And it's not for us. It's not to say, look at what we're doing. It's to say, look at what he's doing.
Right.
Yeah, in spite of us, 100%. And we want you to come, be part of our family, and we'd love to see you here on Sunday. One thing that I love, Jason, is I look out on Sunday and just at what the Lord has done. It is so awesome here at this church, at God's church, to see – and God's church is any church that believes in Jesus Christ, to see people from all different walks of life, all different cultures, all different nationalities now. That's what the church should look like, and I love that here.
It is. It's something that I prayed about a long time ago, is that we'd have a church that looks like heaven. All nations, all backgrounds, and we live in this community. There are so many different people from different backgrounds because of the university and other where we are in Texas, and we have a lot of different. It's a salad bowl, if you will. All these different people from different backgrounds coming through this community, and I'm thankful that we look out there and see people from all over the world all different races, all here for one cause, and that's to lift up his name above any name.
I think of that thing at Thanksgiving, that cornucopia, that little big old horn and all that stuff pouring out of it. Except, why do they use that? Because I've never seen one of those in real life. Have you ever seen one in real life?
Only at Hobby Lobby.
Granny's Thanksgiving table doesn't have that thing?
No. Only at Hobby Lobby with a bunch of fake fruit that you wouldn't want to eat.
I've never seen one of those things. So, well, again, come. We'd love to have you on Sunday. If you've never been before, come to the service, 1045. Just one service, one family here. It's awesome that we get to just have that one service where we can all be together and get to know each other and grow in our faith together, where you don't feel like you're left out. And you know what? If you want to sit in the back and just do your own thing, do it. That's fine. We just want you to come and be present and watch what the Lord's going to do. And I always say this, Jason, and I mean this because I heard it from a pastor years ago, and it stuck with me. He said, you know what? If you find a place, give that place a year. Give the church a year and watch what God can do. And I applied that to 2 different churches that I had visited after, when I moved. We found a church in Fargo. I went. I liked it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a year. I gave it a couple months, and I felt like home. And just like here, came here. We started coming here. It didn't take long. It didn't take more than a couple of weeks to know that this is where the Lord was calling us, and then how He started providing. And that's what the Lord does. He'll move in ways that you never could have imagined. And just come and be a part and celebrate the joy that the Lord is bringing in so many people's lives.
Praise the Lord.
Well, that'll wrap it up. Fun morning.
Yeah,
it
was. Good.
We tried and we failed at useless Use You Can News because it is useful news.
I don't know about that.
So we'll be back next week with more useful news that you can use. I do a couple of last cleanup things here. Want to remind you today, we're a few folks at our church are bringing some items for the garage sale. We're going to be having a garage sale tomorrow and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I'll be up here. Come be a part of that on Friday and Saturdays. Tomorrow and Saturday, we're going to do it at the Family Life Center. And we ask that folks park in the back. There's a back door that we'll have open. We'll have some signage up. But go to the back side of that building, the gymnasium that's back there. We'll have the back door open. That'll be the only entrance. And all of those items will be in the gym. So if you want to come and browse and you're helping out, you're donating, because all the proceeds are going to go to the Texas Hill Country, to families in San Angelo that we have adopted. Come be a part. You don't even have to burn up, because we're going to be right inside doing this. And a suggested $5 donation to fill a bag. We'll be doing that Friday and Saturday. And then next weekend, Jason, we're going to take a caravan back to San Angelo. We've already had many people that want to be a part of this. And we're in Dell Enderlin over at Operation Red Wings has been so generous to donate a passenger van for us. And some people are going to drive separate too. But we're going to be heading back to San Angelo to spend about a day and a half there physically helping with cleanup efforts.
Man.
So come and be a part of all of that. That'll wrap it up. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, it's been fun.
I end every show the same way, but please hear it this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We're not. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. I guarantee and promise you that somebody needs you this morning. Till then, we'll be back tomorrow. Terry Coleman, our real estate expert, joins us with Billy Cawthon. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at 7:30 tomorrow. See you, Jason.
All right.